This is Margaret Ann Windsor. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of the twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. I still have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. Both twins were dead, Carl and Peggy Dempsey, and they were born out of wedlock to Lina Dempsey. And I have pictures that I've put up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram of that family. It was a pigsty. The brutality was horrible. Uh, anyway, I'm going to skip because I'm going to put this up. I've already put some up, I think 5, kind of like a diary of how people are told to do things to save their jobs. The cops get them to do it, tell them to do it, and they don't have to be compromised. They're breaking the law. They should be prosecuted. These happen to be the 4 that I've listed are HUD, and they're federally funded, part of it. And the first one I lived in was Edinburgh, here in Roanoke in '06, and I shouldn't keep putting this up. But what they're doing, I'm paying to get gassed and fumed. I'm allergic to chemicals. My immune system attacks itself, and it's a horrible thing. I should have been able to live a normal life, but when put in kept in close contact, like if your apartment's been fixed with the toxic fumes, and it's murder to me over time. It tears all my organs up, heart, lungs, you name it, legs, vascular, and even the medicine that you take for it can take its toll on your kidneys and all of you too. But a lot of medicines do that, to help you. They can hurt you. But anyway, I'm giving you that, and it's been deliberate. And this is how they run me. Then if I try to do anything about it or say anything, they'll threaten me, well, that's crazy, we don't do it. And I quoted Carl Barton, retired Virginia State Trooper, and I never meant him any harm. I think probably he gave me, his wife did, Linda, the little slip you put on a letter that has your name and receipt and everything, or address. I think she did it. She didn't just hand it to me for no reason because I wasn't in contact with them. They brought me off the mountain, Roanoke Mountain, in August the 14th of '09. I was legally camped up there and everything, and somebody come in the middle of the night and poured fuel on my tent with me in it, and I had to sleep out, or not sleep out, sit at the picnic table the rest of the night. She brought me down, and I had enough money, except I didn't have the deposit. She paid the deposit. They did with a credit card. And anyway, she told me that this is how we run you. But if you try to say anything to people, they'll just threaten you. It's not happening. Why, you need locked up. You're, okay, you can guess the rest. It's just like I wrote a book about medical malpractice book about mind control murders. And Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia while I was doing the book in '78. I was living at Moonraker Apartments. It was owned by Penthouse, and then at the time it was owned by the Mormon Church of all things. But anyway, Larry Flint was shot and his attorney killed, and the guy was programmed, and there's lists of these kind of murders. But they were deliberately done by the agency because mind control is invisible. It's hard to prove. And I'm going to mention this Virginia Tech next door to me here in Blacksburg. I never knew I'd be up here in Roanoke. I came here in '86. But anyway, I'm not going to mention the other, like, corporate suites over there or what happened. It's been an ongoing, you talk about nightmare and terrorism. It really gets me when they talk about terrorists who's a terrorist, the United States. It really just... unless you see it and how deadly it's been to me and made my life a living hell, and I'm talking about just about every crime that can be committed has been committed, and there seems to be nobody they couldn't get to, the agency and the police that are involved. And I want to go back to just before they almost killed me, April Fool Day of '80. I had a call from a doctor, and it was I had met him just briefly. He had an office where I was at, and he stopped by and talked to me a few times. And he just moved in, Bill Heron, and he called me just before. I'm not even gonna put it in here how they tried to kill me. It was so horrible. And he said to me, people will help, but it's in essence when they can be a big brother or they can donate to Goodwill. It's when they fear retaliation or repercussion that they'll refuse to help. And in my case, they actually turned on me. So now then that I've used this one up and I didn't want to, I'm going to Scott Hill because I thought this was going to be the last one. I had to go, and they put me in a position not having a place to live, and I have been through hell the whole time. But this, since January, it has been one I have had. Well, anyway, I'm not even going to get into it. I went out there July the 15th of this year. They came and got me, and this is what I've said. If you don't know the background, what's really happening, and this is why you have to have an attorney, that's why people can be prosecuted, and you have a rebuttal. In my case, I'm the victim, but I'll be the victim until the day I die, and it won't be prosecuted unless Great Britain can help me, or this agency tells it, or God himself comes down and does it, which they all said they believed in, and now this is going to go off. I'm going to read the letter, though. When I first went there, they took me out there. Christy came and got me, McCoy. And there's an Elizabeth out there, and there was Elizabeth where I just left. So I'm not going to give the connection, but the Elizabeth out at Scott Hill was, I guess, a receptionist, or I don't know if she was a manager, Christy's senior manager. And she wrote this letter to me October the 19th this year, and she sent the security deposit back, all but $15. I wasn't there to eat food, so I don't know why she took out for that. But anyway, in it she says that according to the terms of your lease, you are eligible for a refund of your deposit following a 30-day written notice. Therefore, your deposit has been refunded less $15 for prorated October meals for a total of $362. And what I want to say, this is part of it, that I took pictures. I can't get pictures over the years of what's been done to me. The fumes, they've been made me look like a Looney Tune with everybody knowing it. That's the hideous part. It's an awful thing to get an apartment and pay a month's rent and tell them that you're allergic and explain it. And they come in, let you stay 3 or 4 days, and come in and start remodeling, and you can't keep them out. The law won't do anything. In fact, the law told me at the Patels, at the Budget Inn next to Hollins College, and I put this up, in November of '94, I paid for a month. Stayed just a couple of days, and he comes, Patel does, and tells me he's going to remodel. Well, in November, really, in Roanoke, Virginia? And I call the cop. Cop comes out and says, well, we'll just arrest you. And he put my hands behind my back and put the cuffs on me. Whether he locked them, I don't remember. But he said, you're the one that's going to leave, and without any refund or anything. So when he left, the cop did. Patel said to me, we're Americans now. We have to do what they tell us to do. Well, half these weren't. They were born here American, Caucasian, white, or black. So but anyway, they told me, I knew when I signed this, and this is going off, that the lease, that they said 30-day notice, and I thought, well, that's unusual for a HUD. And here she's admitted it, but I got pictures of black mold throughout before and after and all I went through, and I've just put it up there if you care to see the videos. So she told the truth here, but she had to. I had the photos of the black mold and all of it, that it was black mold, and I sent it to the management firm because what I wanted to do, I can't get an attorney, was cover myself, because suddenly they started saying they were going to charge me for the whole year or minus the months I'd stayed, and saying that it wasn't a 30-day, calling me a liar. And here they've said I left it clean. but you don't see what